The story of the little match girl. Hello there, my little sunshine friends. Are you all cozy and comfy? Because I'm about to tell you a tale that will warm your hearts like a toasty marshmallow on a cold winter's night. It was super duper cold on the last evening of the old year, and snowflakes were dancing down from the sky like tiny ballet dancers. Brrr. The streets were covered in a fluffy white blanket, and everyone was hurrying home to celebrate. In the middle of all this winter wonderland was a little girl. Oh my goodness, she had no hat on her head and no shoes on her feet. Can you imagine that? The poor little thing did have slippers when she left home, but they were her mum's old ones, way too big for her tiny feet. Oopsie daisy! While running across the street to avoid two speedy carriages, she lost those slippers. One completely disappeared, and a cheeky boy grabbed the other one, saying he'd use it as a cradle for his future children's toys. What a silly idea, don't you think? So there she was, walking on her bare little feet that had turned rosy red and blueberry blue from the cold. In her apron, she carried matches to sell, and she held a bundle of them in her hands, too. "Matches for sale, lovely matches," she called out. But nobody stopped to buy any all day long. Not even a single penny did she earn. Oh, dear. The little match girl was shivering like a leaf in the wind. Her beautiful golden hair had snowflakes resting on it like tiny white hats, but she didn't even notice them. Do you know what made her tummy rumble even more? From every window, warm lights glowed, and sniff, sniff, can you smell that? The delicious aroma of roast goose wafted through the air, because it was New Year's Eve. Yum, yum. "I can't go home without selling any matches," she whispered to herself. "Papa will be upset, and it's almost as cold at home anyway." Finding a cozy corner between two houses, she sat down and tucked her feet under her dress. Her tiny fingers were so cold they felt like icicles. Wow, she had an idea. Maybe she could light just one teeny tiny match to warm her hands. Just one won't hurt, she thought, and scratch. The match sparked to life with a magical little flame. And guess what happened then, my curious companions? Something absolutely amazing. As she held her hands over the flame, it seemed like she was sitting in front of a big, beautiful iron stove with shiny brass feet. The fire looked so real and felt so wonderfully warm that she stretched out her feet to warm them up too. But then, poof, the flame went out and the stove disappeared. Oh! Not giving up, she struck another match against the wall. Whoosh! This time, when the light touched the wall in front of her, it became see-through like a window, and what do you think she saw? A table covered with a snow-white tablecloth, set with fancy plates, and holy moly! A delicious roast goose stuffed with apples and plums. And here comes the really funny part. The goose actually jumped off the dish and waddled right up to her, with a knife and fork stuck in its back, ready to be eaten. Can you believe that? It was like the goose was saying, "Eat me, I'm delicious." Tee-hee. But just as quickly, poof, the match went out again, and everything disappeared. She quickly lit another match, and ta-da! This time she found herself sitting under the most gorgeous Christmas tree you've ever seen. It was even bigger and more spectacular than the one she had peeked at through the window of the rich merchant's house. Thousands of colorful candles twinkled on the green branches, and beautiful pictures hung from the boughs just like the ones in shop windows. The little girl reached out her hand, wanting to touch the magical tree, but poof! The match went out once more. But something strange happened then. The Christmas lights began to rise higher and higher into the night sky, turning into twinkling stars. One bright star shot across the sky, leaving a trail of sparkles. "Someone special is going to heaven," the little girl said. remembering what her grandmother had told her. Her grandmother was the only person who had ever really loved her, but she had passed away not long ago. Quickly she struck another match. Flash! In the glow of the light stood her grandmother, looking so clear and bright, but still so gentle and loving. "Grandma!" the little girl cried out with joy. "Please stay with me. Don't go away when the match burns out." She knew her grandmother would disappear, just like the warm stove, the tasty goose, and the beautiful Christmas tree. So what do you think she did, my clever listeners? She lit all the matches at once. The whole bundle. Kaboom! Well, not really kaboom, but you get the idea. The matches blazed with a light brighter than the sun at noon, and her grandmother had never looked so tall or so beautiful before. She reached down and gently picked up the little girl in her arms. Together they soared upward, flying higher and higher in a swirl of light and happiness. Up, up, up they went, to a place where there was no cold, no hunger, and no sadness. The next morning, as the first rays of the New Year's sun peeped over the rooftops, they found the little match girl. She was sitting against the wall with rosy cheeks and a peaceful smile on her face. In her hand was the bundle of burnt matches. Some people walking by said, "Poor thing, she was trying to warm herself." But none of them knew about the wonderful things she had seen, or the amazing adventure she was now having with her grandmother in a land of warmth and love. But wait, I forgot to mention the best part, my darling dreamers. In that magical place where the little match girl and her grandmother went, they found a cozy cottage filled with delicious food that never ran out, comfortable beds with the softest pillows, and beautiful toys to play with. The little girl never had to sell matches again, and she and her grandmother spent their days playing games, telling stories, and eating scrumptious meals together. And sometimes, on cold winter nights, they would look down at the world below and send shooting stars across the sky to remind everyone to be kind to one another, especially to little children selling matches in the cold. So, the next time you see a shooting star, remember our little friend and maybe share a smile with someone who needs it. Because that, my wonderful friends, is how we keep magic alive in the world. Sweet dreams and warm wishes to you all. Thank you for listening, and I hoped you liked this story. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have plenty more fairy tales for you.